Hey, this is Randolph here. We're talking to Dr. Greg Zeschuk. He's from BioWare, and we're going to chat all things Dragon Age Origins. Greg, can I start off, first of all, because we just played the console version of Dragon Age Origins. How hard is it to actually map those PC controls over to a console?
That was a lot of work. I mean, we spent probably 6 months where we actually literally just destroyed the existing interface and rebuilt it right back up from the ground up. The main thing we really wanted to accomplish was the fact that Dragon Age Origins PC is a lot of stuff you can do in the game, a lot of controls. We didn't want to compromise for console players. We wanted them to have every single power available to them, but we also want to make it playable. So we actually came up with a sort of a ring structure and some hot buttons and things that actually we think really captures the game well and gives it a very good feel and actually really allows console players to feel like they're in control.
How similar is it to something like what you did with Mass Effect, for example?
Certainly, Mass Effect was a bit of an influence on it, where we do use a ring type effect, but for when you sort of pause the game. But there's actually the ring expands outward and actually gives you multiple categories of things that you can do. So that fundamental mechanic actually allowed us to put literally dozens and dozens of powers. Again, Dragon Age, you have 4 characters; they all can do different things. It's a pretty big bunch of work, but we actually managed to really capture the feel of the game, and actually also leave the player feeling a little more action feel too on the console.
So are you confident you've got, I guess, most of the complexity of the PC controls in there? Did you have to make any sacrifices at all, do you think?
I don't think we made any sacrifices at all. I think we actually captured. I think the key thing too is you can do it, but you want to make it still very, very playable. That was one of our other key focuses, to make sure that it was easy to play, and I think we accomplished that as well, which was probably the hardest thing about the whole endeavor.
Okay, so it's very close to release now for Dragon Age Origins. What is there left to do on the game?
The game right now is really in the final certification phases and just the final fine-tuning of everything. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we were doing towards the end of it was making sure it was all connecting up properly to the internet, and the PDLC stuff being all the channels were working properly to be able to deliver that. So really the fine-tuning a lot of the online features, and that's right where we are right now.
Can we talk about DLC at all? What can you tell us about, I guess, plans for DLC for Dragon Age?
I can talk at a very high level about DLC plans for Dragon Age. I mean, the key thing being it's a big part of it. I mean, it's a big part of the franchise, a big part of what we're building. We're working on DLC stuff already, and I think we designed the game very much from the perspective of supporting DLC as one of the foundations. Another key part of course, is the user-created content, user tool set, and actually we want to allow users on both platforms, PC and consoles, to actually feel like they can actually have all the same features. And so we're going to try really hard on console to get some of the user-created content back, but on PC for sure, you're going to be able to browse even within the game and figure out which kind of modules and other things you want to add to it, and actually what kind of mods you want to put into your game. So really, really huge things, and then DLC will be purchasable from the game as well, so it'll be pretty exciting.
So you are planning on getting some of that user-generated content from the PC side onto the console environment?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working really hard. We want to work with the folks at Microsoft and Sony to do that, because we think it would be just a fabulous thing for folks on consoles to see some of the user-created stuff. And given that the tool set's going to only work on PC, figure out a way of getting that, probably like in a sense, not almost like a little DLC piece itself, but get it certified and approved through Microsoft and Sony if we can.
So how soon after launch can we expect the first DLC from you guys?
I think we got DLC coming almost right out of the gate, like very soon after the launch phase, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff planned. And I think it'll depend on how the response is and what people seem to like and not like. We can adjust the plans based on the response.
Okay, thanks for that, Greg. Can you tell us what platforms and when Dragon Age Origins is coming out?
Sure. Dragon Age Origins is coming out on Xbox 360 and PC in early November, and then PS3 a little later in November.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.